class. This is your professor, Kendra Crow, and I wanted to give you a quick tutorial on how to access my feedback for your essays. A couple of people had questions on that. So here is how you do that. So this is sort of you're going to see in your grade book. You're going to see a couple of buttons called like Turnitin Similarity Report or Turnitin Online Grading. And you can click this percentage point. It might say 0, it might say something else, but you could click that button. That's a live button. Or you could click this pencil here. This is a live button as well. You can click that, and that will take you to another window that's going to be the Turnitin site. And I'm going to go ahead and click on mine so you can see what that looks like. So this is what will be brought up. So this will be your submission, your paper that is brought up. It might look slightly different. This is the instructor view, so you're not going to have all of these buttons along the side over here. If you are not seeing anything like this, where you're seeing highlights or you're seeing little bubbles like this or my notes like this, you might have to come over to this button and just turn on this grading layer. So you can see if I toggle back and forth between that, you'll see my notes come on and off. I don't know if you have that feature, but if you do, if you're not seeing any notes, you can go ahead over here and check this layer. Make sure that this grading button is checked, and then you can see my notes. But I'm going to close this out. So this is what it's going to look like on your end when you get my feedback. So you might see some highlights like this. Some of these highlights would have little buttons associated with it. If you click on the button, you'll see my notes. So this is an example of the feedback that I could give you. Be sure you're reading through this in order to understand how to improve. So I might be highlighting, let's say this is your thesis statement or something. I might be giving you some information, some feedback on that particular passage that I've highlighted. Another thing you might see here are these where it says something on it, and these are called, from my end, they're called quick marks. Just things that happen often in papers. They're just like a quick comment that I can give. So a lot of times it'll be like this. It'll be associated with this highlight. This one I've clicked on this awkward thing. So it gives a little verbiage on what's awkward. So it's saying consider rewriting. And then sometimes there'll be a comment down here. I didn't put a comment on this one, but I could, maybe a way to rework it or something like that, some more specifics. But again, click on those comments and you'll see some information on how to revise the passage. You might see just buttons not associated with any highlights. So if you click on that, whoops, let me pull this down. It just might be a note just on the paper, just not associated with any particular text. It might be associated with that paragraphs, your citations, etc. Just make sure you're clicking on those and reading those as well. And then I will often put comments like this, especially at the end. I'll give some general feedback that you can read. And this doesn't do anything. It just sits there, but you can read it. You don't have to click on anything to read it. So I hope that sort of clears up how to read my feedback, how you access the Turnitin. Make sure that you are allowing pop-ups on the site. I don't know if would maybe block something, but if you're not getting this Turnitin document to show up, that might be the case, something to look at to allow pop-ups. But again, I'm going to go back to how you do it. So you'll see something like this in the grade book, and then you click on either this or you'll click on that pencil and it'll bring up the Turnitin document and you'll see all my notes. And then of course, as usual, let me know if you have questions. Thank you.